Hello, everyone. So the purpose that I'm trying to make this video is I was in a restaurant maybe half an hour to an hour ago, and I could not believe I was taking a very small takeout for us, and I could not believe how many people were there in the restaurant. So why I'm making a video about a restaurant? No, the main message in this video is even though a lot of economists, if not all the economists and the government and the public policymakers and who have you, everybody and their dogs, if I may put it that way, is predicting a recession in Canada and worldwide. I am no economist, but my prediction, why not I throw in there as well, is we will not see a recession as we know it, or as we have experienced it, or as we have seen it in the past, let's say in 2008 and 9, which has been the recent one, I think the big one that we all experienced one way or another. So why do I think that? So there are three basic reasons. Number one, the economy is will receive more funds from around the globe. As the worldwide situation post-COVID, the geopolitical issue in Europe and the war that is going on, all of that will trigger and is making people afraid, understandably so. Many people from many different parts of the world will sell their asset, will move their asset to more of a safe haven like Canada and other safe haven like Australia and other countries. That means more and more money will just flow into Canada that will allow these folks to, let's say immigrants or who have you, to buy assets in Canada with cash and so on and so forth. So that means we will not see the housing price correction, especially in markets like in Alberta, in Saskatchewan, where the price of the houses are all still, relatively speaking, lower than the grand market of Calgary, of Toronto or Vancouver. So Calgary, Edmonton, and Saskatchewan, Regina will still do much better because the money that will flow in. The second reason I don't think there will be a recession as we know it is because all of us are talking about a recession. So the shock that is needed in order to do a correction or go through a correction. If you think back 2008 and 9, I think the recent memory, at least I remember that because I'm not from the 1929s or the before that. So the recession or the correction in the housing market and the overall economy that we have experienced at that time has to do with shock. Without a shock factor, the economy will not experience the correction, or the inflation is not going to go down, even though the Federal Reserve in US or in Canada, the Bank of Canada, will keep rising interest rate. I don't even think 10% interest rate will cause that type of correction. And the reason being, because we are all talking about it, we will all be in some way or another be trying to cut back on our spending and be more prepared in a way for that upcoming hurricane or upcoming storm that we all expect. So because we are expecting it, it becomes harder and harder to go through a correction. Okay, so the third reason that I will tell you about that I think will also prevent the type of recession that we think we will experience and the type of correction that is needed in order to experience more like deflationary, so that the inflation that we're all experiencing will go down. And the third reason that I'm going to share with you after that money flowing into Canada, and second that I mentioned is the shock factor is gone. The third thing that I'm going to talk about is we just in a position where there are lots of people in Canada who, in my view, have enough cushion. They just have enough cushion. So there might be different parts of country where that cushion will be different. Even within a city, within a community, that cushion will be different. But enough people have enough cushion that they will go through that shock and it will not cause any big disruption. And that is, I think, because correction or de-inflation, reduction of inflation requires some sort of shock. It requires some sort of vacuum where you are not having money that is coming from outside. And it also requires people who do not have cushion. There might be statistics as to how much people are actually saving, but it's less about saving and it's more about cushion. For example, government is still spending. Whether someone is cutting taxes, well, let's say conservatives or the liberals who are talking about providing more GST, tax benefit, childcare, what have you. But at the end of the day, all of this is one way or another is providing more and more cushion to the people in this country. Now, I obviously have empathy for or anyone who will require that fund. But at the end of the day, theoretically speaking, that fund, whether you cut tax or you give more money, will cause more spending by the government, which, by the way, in my view, is the first cause of all this inflation that we are seeing. And I'm not blaming one particular government because it basically happened all over the world. So it's not like one government suddenly decided, hey, I'm going to spend money and nobody else is experiencing it. Everybody else will be experiencing this. But the thing is that, as you might have noticed, in the US dollar is going up because obviously safe haven. Many people are buying stocks there and things of that nature. But for Canada, I think we are in a position where we also attract lots of people from around the world. So lots of people who think in their own country things will be really bad, they will move their asset into safe haven like Canada and move themselves or their children or their family and what have you. So long story short, stay tuned. I will also be monitoring, and hopefully 6 months, 1 year from now, I will also come up with another video. I'll see whether my prediction holds true or not. I'm not betting on anything, or I'm not holding my breath, but seeing what I'm seeing, understand and notice and what I'm experiencing today, I don't think there will be a recession given the situation. What will it mean for inflation? I don't know. But maybe that's the topic for another video, and I will share my thoughts as to where the inflation is going, and then we'll talk more. So see you next time. Bye.